is Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. I'm inside of my growing room where I have my growing station. We're in November 15th, the middle of the month. Normally I don't go ahead and sow seeds until the end of December because my growing season is like February and March, because sometimes in March we have a freeze. However, I'm going to go ahead and sow my peppers and my eggplants now so they could mature nicely, and then I can move them outside if the weather's good and then put them in the garden and they'll have a good jump start. So what I'm doing different this year is normally I use these square pots. However, I went ahead and purchased some of these online. This is a reservoir, it holds the water. Then these here have holes in them, they sit in here. And then they have a dome top which you can let the air out so it breathes. And they're smaller. And I'm using these because a friend of mine online, Sean, he always uses the small ones. And that way when you put water in and it drains out the bottom, there's less water on the surface, less chance of getting that mold on top. So I'm going to go ahead and try these. I purchased a whole bunch of them. I only got a couple right here because I want to show you how they fit on the heating pad. So that's what I'm going to do this morning, is I'm going to fill these up with some potting soil that I went ahead and made. This is seed starting soil. And what I done was I took some peat moss and some perlite, and I go 3 parts peat moss and 2 parts perlite outside, and I mix it all up because the perlite has dust. You don't want to do that inside. And even the peat moss has dust, and it would get all over the place. So I do it outside, I put water in it, and once it feels good, I put it in the house. I let that water absorb into there overnight. Now it's room temperature. And now it's time to go ahead and do this here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I would like to show you right over here. I have a heating pad. Let me just move some stuff around. Okay, so I have a heating pad and I have a piece of cardboard. I always set my heating pad on cardboard, so on my growing station, which I'll show you in a bit, it's multi-shelf and it's the grate type, and I don't want this resting right on the metal, so I always put it on the cardboard and it works great. Now these, I already did it. These work perfectly, 2 like this and then 3 across, so 6 of them fit on one heating pad. Inside of each one there's 12, so you can have 12 seed starts, times that by 6 on each heating mat, which is going to save you a lot of space. So once I do this and I put the seeds in there, then I move it to my lighting station. I turn on my LED lights and I turn on my heating pad. It's heat regulated depending on what I have in there. I set the temperature and then I'm all set to go. I wait for them to germinate and they sprout, and we take it from there. Once they sprout and they're large enough, I'm going to go ahead and remove them. These are going to be really good for that. I'm going to be able to take my pencil, or in this case something smaller, and push it through and it will pop out the root. This pencil's a little too wide, so I'll get something a little smaller like a skewer. Let me get that now. Whoosh! The magic of video. I got one. Got a whole pack. Always good to have them around. You never know when you'll need them. But as you can see, it goes all the way through like that. So what I'll do is I'll cut off the end so it's flat and not pointy, and then that would help me push each one out, and then I could put them into the larger pots and then go larger from there. move them outside, do whatever I want to do. So that's how I'm going to do that. Now, what I'm also, when you order these, they come with some labels. I like using the bigger labels. It comes with a couple tools, so you can put a little hole in there and plant. It's got a little scooper. Pretty cool. I'm not really into little things like this, but this is a nice, good widget right here to push down and start. Now, as I tell everybody each year, you want to mark your labels and put it in there so you know what you're growing in each row or each container. I always tell people to get a graphite pencil. I believe this is number 9B. The reason for that, it's a dark one. And the reason for a graphite pencil, if you're watching my channel, you already know, but I have to tell people, if you use a Sharpie or a magic marker and mark this, when you go to plant them outside in the garden, that Sharpie magic marker ink is going to disappear and you won't know you're growing. When you use the graphite, once you mark it, it stays on there the whole season, so you never forget what they are. The end of the season, you can save them and reuse them, or you can use alcohol and rub it off and then write it on there again next season. So graphite pencils work good. Okay, so now for my peppers and my eggplants that I plant, it doesn't matter where you get them. This just so happens to be Baker Creek. But once you open them, take out your seeds and you close them, a lot of times they'll open again and your seeds will come out. You don't know what they belong to and so forth. So I use these little micro clips. They go on there and they're perfect size. They're just real small. I get those online. And all of my seed packs are like that. Okay, so with that said, I'll move some stuff out of the way over here because I don't need it right now. And I'm going to take one container. And I want to go ahead and fill it up. So I already have these moist. They're not super moist, but it's moist. I'll probably wet them down again. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just filling these up real easy. Nothing special, not rocket science, just fill them up. Okay, also, when you go ahead and fill these up, when they're moist, they're already like packed down a little bit. You want to do it with your finger. If it was fluffy, it wouldn't pack down as good. But the reason why I'm packing these down with my finger is because if you don't do it, when you put water on there, the water's going to turn the soil up and your seed's going to come up to the top or go down too deep. So, go ahead and put a little bit more in here. And they're all about the same. You don't want it exactly flush. You want it a little bit down more because you're gonna be watering these until they are ready to transplant. Okay, so there you go. It's like that. So now I could take this and I could put it in the tray, and we're ready to go ahead and put some seeds in there. So what you want to do is you want to take this. Remember, you want the seed down just one time the length. So if it's a little tiny seed, you just want a little spot like that in each one. So try to get them all. And if there's a little piece that's big like that, just redo it. You don't want a big clump over it. But you could go ahead and just put a hole in the center of each one like that. And since it's moist, that hole is staying there. Okay, just like that. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your seed. You're going to take a seed out. Okay. Then you want to put one little seed in each one, and then you want to cover it up a little bit. And then it's going to be time to water. So I have different types of watering gadgets, but this works the best. Just get yourself a bottled water. You can drink the water and put tap water in or well water, but you want to take the top like this, and you want to puncture holes in the top. Okay, so now there's holes in the top like that, if you can see them. Put this back on. So now, when it comes time to water, you want to turn this upside down, and you see the way this comes out now? Just like that. You see that? So the reason why I like that, because if you just took the top off and poured, it would be pressure. But when you put holes in there, and I'll even put more in there, when you squirt it, it rains like a shower on there real soft, and it doesn't upturn your seeds. So this is great. Then when you're done, you just put your top on, make sure the vent's open, put it on the heating pad, and then put it on the shelf. Okay, so that's how you go ahead and you sow your seeds. And you could use any type of tray, from the pots I had there to these to other pots, but make sure you use a tray, and that way it drains into the tray. These trays right here got perforated bottom, so when the water goes through, it's not sitting in it, it's actually in that, so they work out pretty good. So I am actually going to plant some. I just wanted to go through that right now to show you how it's done. And you probably don't want to go ahead and watch me put each individual seed in there. So I'm just going to do one tray, and then I'm going to mark them. And I'll do the rest of them, but not on the camera. Okay, so these are Sugar Rush Peach, and what I'm going to do here, once again, I'm going to pack these down. I think that's in the video, I hope so. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little okay, I didn't go down deep at all, so now I'm just going to take one of these. And I'm going to go this way, a row of 4. You could go 3 this way. I'm going to go 4 of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I only got 5. Put that back. So I need to order more, but this is plenty for this year. So then you want to mark them. Okay, so you put the name on it. And I like to put it in the direction. So when this is in this way, I know the row's that way. If it was this way, I would turn it in this way, and that's how I keep track of it. So now that the seed is in there, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure that seed is down under there. Just in case you missed a little bit. Okay, so that looks good. Now I'll do these other rows and then I'll water it in. So that's my sugar rush. Now I have sugar rush red. So I'm going to do the same thing. The holes are in there. Bear with me. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now when I put those in, some of them did not go in the hole because they stuck to my finger. So with this, just make sure it's in the hole. Put a little bit of soil over it. And you don't want to push it in that hole much, just so it's in there. And then you can put the soil over it. Mark it. I don't want to drop these seeds. I'll put this on there. Okay, so I marked it, and now that's on there. So now, what do I want to do next? Okay, I love these lipsticks. They don't put a whole bunch on the plant, but they're good size and they taste delicious. I'm going to put this on there. I don't do a lot of hot peppers. I do a lot of sweet. I love sweet. But when I do the hot peppers, I'll slice them up and I'll put them on the pizza pan. And then I'll put some tomatoes in there. And then I'll put sweet peppers in there and a few other things. And then I'll roast them. And that gives it just enough hotness where it doesn't burn your mouth. Although I overdid it a few times and I wish I didn't put a whole lot in there. So that's how you learn. Okay, so I went ahead and put these in there and cover them up just a little bit. Let me make sure I mark it because I'll forget really quick what's in there. Marked it. Okay, so these are in there. So once you have them in there and you have them marked, remember you need to water them in. So once again, this is how I water. Let me do it over here in case I miss. That's it. It's watered in nice. I'll take a top. The top fits on with those labels there. So I'm all set. So let's go over here at my growing station and I'll show you how I set these on the heating pad and turn on my light system. You're going to love my station. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm in front of my light station, at least half of it. I have another whole shelving unit over there. But I start with one unit And as you can notice, on each shelf, I have 4 LED lights go on. Each one is controlled by an individual switch. And then in the center, over here, you'll notice that I have one light way up top and nothing going all the way down. So then I could put taller stuff in there, banana plants or fruit trees, you know, something taller. And then I put storage up on top for all my bins, and everything works out pretty good like that. So for right now, let's go ahead and use the heating pad over here. So once again, I got my cardboard, put that down. And now I have my heating pad. I'll set that on it. Now I can set them in long ways, or I could go ahead and put it going across. It really doesn't matter, but for now that's what I'm going to do. And then I wrap the cord around once because I don't want it to pull it off. So with that said, let me go ahead, and here's the one that I just did. I'm going to set it right on there, but I'm also going to show you that 6 fit on there. Okay, so look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 12. That's a lot of seat starts in there, and it's all fit in right on one heating pad, which is terrific. When I was using these, look at the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 12 there, so you can fit a lot more in that. So it's a cool way to do it. So with that said, let me remove these because they're empty. Okay, so what I do is when I turn on my heating pad, I go ahead and use a thermostat so I can control the heat and they don't overheat. So what I do with these is I just go ahead and use some wire. And that holds it up. And then of course you have to plug it in. And then you take the heating pad and you plug that in. So the heating pad goes into here. And then this goes directly into this. Now I'm going to have to set the controls, but I just kind of wanted to show you that. Now on the wall over here, I have power strips. One side of the power strip is programmable, so I could program what time the lights come on in the morning and what time they go off in the evening. And then the other side of the power strip is always power. You want to put these on the side that are always power because you don't want these going off at night. Nighttime is when you really want to regulate the temperature. So make sure you get a power strip that's programmable on one side and the power stays on all the time on the other side. It works out perfect for your lights and it works out perfect for your heater controls. Also, if you notice in the back, I have reflective. What that reflective does, it does a few different things. It's really attic foil. It's made to go in the attic as a heat barrier. It keeps the heat and the coolness out. It works great. But I use it like this. Behind here are windows. So it keeps the cold out or the heat out when it shines in the window, even though I got shades there. And it works as a reflector. So these lights are coming down onto your plants, which your plants love. But if you notice, even on the sides, they're reflected in, and it's getting light reflected. It's like when you go on a boat, the sun's coming down this way. I always wear a hat. It keeps the sun out of my eyes. You always get the sun reflecting off of the water, and it gets you this way, so you can still get sunburned. So this is the same thing. I feel it helps. You don't have to use it, but I recommend that. If you feel it's too expensive, use aluminum foil. Use white cardboard if you want, just something so it reflects a little bit. I feel it works better. So anyways, there you go. This is the start of my growing season. I just did one of these, and there's 4, 8, 12 plants right here. 12. Hopefully they all come up. I'm going to go ahead and pot some eggplants now. I don't need to be repetitive on the video. So anyway, with that said, hey, I'm Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. If you liked my video, if you just like me, give me a share, give me a like, come on over to my Facebook page, come on over to my Facebook group. Great group of people. We post photos. You're not going to see it on the video, but all this will be snapshots and photos. You'll see the garden. I post more photos on there than I do videos online, and a lot of members do. We have a lot of smart people. Everybody knows how to grow, and a lot of people go there to learn. So come on over, check out what we're doing. Ask questions. Post photos of your seed starts. Post photos of your garden. Hey, we're there to help. We're there to show off. Hey, whatever. As long as you can see what we're doing, and by our failures and our success, you could copy it, you could multiply it. That's how you learn. My garden and my permaculture property look fabulous. I grow some good stuff. But I also have bloopers, and I have failures. I got disease, and I got insects, and I got fungus. I got a lot of aphids, got a lot of different things that happen. But when I plant outside, I put on my boxing gloves, I put on my helmet, and I am ready for that battle. So be ready, be prepared, because if you're gardening, it's going to come. The disease is going to come. The fungus is going to come. The insects are going to come. The rain's going to come. You're going to need to fertilize. You're going to need to water. A lot of stuff going on. So sign up to our club. You're going to love it. We answer questions. We tackle it all. And you get to see our success and our failures. A lot of people don't post that. When I do something wrong, I post it because I learned by that, and other people will learn by that. It takes a lot longer to videotape something and post pics and stuff like that, but hey, it's my hobby. I enjoy it. I try to excel at it, and I try to help others. So hopefully I touched you in some small way. So with that said, hey, we'll see you soon. Okay, so hey, here's some bonus footage. I went ahead and sowed all 12 seeds in each one, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there's 12 plants in each. I set my thermostat for 82 degrees because these are eggplants and they're peppers. And so 6 of these trays fit on the heating mat. So now it's up to Mother Nature to have them sprout, and then hopefully pretty soon I'll be repotting them, upsizing them. Spring will be here. Put them out on the porch, put them in my garden, and I'll take you along for the ride. So with that said, see you soon.